it's Dr. Amanda with StraightSmile Solutions, StraightSmileSolutions.com, and today I'm going to be talking about Invisalign lab fees, not what the lab fees are, because I have a video on that, but I'm going to be talking about how it works with revisions, refinements, mid-course corrections. Are you going to get charged for it? Are you not? And I'm only going to be making this video for doctors in the United States. If you are in Australia, UK, Canada, EU, other countries, you will have different menu of services, totally different fees, and the way it works is going to be totally different. I don't have access to that because I am an orthodontist in the US. So I only have access to what my fee is. So I can't really speak for that. I'm assuming it's relatively similar in terms of how it works. But for example, moderate in the US is 20 aligners, moderate in Canada is 24 aligners. So everything's going to be slightly different. But, you know, if you're a patient and you're listening to this, great. YouTube is all about access to information, but this is really directed towards the doctor. Whether or not your doctor is including a refinement, revision, or mid-course correction is between you and your doctor. If you sign paperwork, you want to go back and dig up your contract, and usually they write it in there. If you didn't, well then, as far as I'm concerned, it's included, because if you didn't say it wasn't included, it's included. That's the way things work. So you just need to say you're not satisfied and get that refinement. Your doctor will have some type of fee possibly, but that's your doctor probably not planning the case properly and or not guiding you on compliance. Now, if you are outwardly non-compliant, you weren't coming for appointments, you weren't doing your virtual check-ins, you weren't wearing your trays as directed, and they have documentation of that, well, then there's a reason that you might need to pay for something else. But again, this is between you and your doctor. I'm not getting involved in that. I'm just talking about to the doctor so they know. And really, it comes down to many different things. First of all, for the most part, I can tell you, because I've personally either directly done or indirectly been involved in maybe 5,000 to 10,000 Invisalign cases over my career, which basically spans back to when Invisalign started back in 1997. Well, you know, I graduated dental school in 2001, but I mean, we actively got started then. So I've seen a lot of Invisalign cases. It's come a long way, like a long way. It used to be a pretty crappy product. I only used it if somebody forced me to use it because I just didn't get the outcomes I wanted. Now I can get better outcomes with Invisalign than I can with braces for the vast majority of treatments. There really is nothing I can't do with Invisalign as long as I know how to do it. Now, doesn't mean that your lab tech knows what to do. You have to tell them what to do and how to do it. And there's all different workarounds. So that's something we're really good at here at StraightSmile Solutions, educating you on how to optimize your ClinCheck so that you can get the best possible outcomes. So there's really no reason you should be saying no to Invisalign cases at all, as far as I'm concerned. I also agree with Align Technology. Now remember, I don't work for Align Technology. I get zero benefits from promoting their product. I just really find their product to be a great product, as well as many other aligner companies that are out there. There are other ones that do just as well as Invisalign that are maybe white label and other things. You just kind of they're underground and they're a lot cheaper. So feel free to reach out to me if you want to know more about that. You'll save a ton of money, but you won't get all the benefits like the educational content, the training. There's a lot of other benefits that Align has really improved over the last 5 years or so. So I still like it. I can tell you for my own daughter, we are doing Invisalign for her. She's 11. It's a very, very, very difficult case, like probably harder than I've ever seen of any case. And it's a surgical case. And my husband and I made the choice to use Invisalign. That was I was thinking about braces, which I know we could have done. But after I went to the summit this past November and I saw a similar case that I'd never seen before, I was eyes wide open. I said, we're going to do it. And she's so excited about getting her Invis. Stay tuned. We're going to get it in the next couple of weeks. It's going to be a long case. It's probably going to take a couple years, but it's going to be amazing. And I'm excited to publish the case together with the oral surgeon who I'm treatment planning with. But anyways, let's talk about those lab fees. Do you get a revision refinement? Do you not? How much is it going to cost? So you really have to be aware of these things when you start the case, because cases do have expiration dates. They also have all kinds of limitations, and certain things have to be done before the expiration date. Okay. So if you personally, I always tell everyone, always work up every case as a comprehensive case. Every case. Don't ask me if it should be express. No, it's comprehensive. Every case is comprehensive. That's going to make your life so much easier with revision. It basically is a non-issue because there's no reason you can't finish every case within 5 years. So that really takes all the stress out of everything. Now, I can look at a case and tell you this is probably going to be 8 aligners. This is probably going to be 10. Okay. So sometimes you can downgrade it, but anytime you downgrade it, first of all, still need to optimize the ClinCheck, right? Just because they tell you it can be done in 8 doesn't mean it's predictably done in 8. So usually I take whatever they give me and I add at least an extra 50% more aligners on, if not double every case. So if they say 8, it's now a 16 for me. It just makes it more predictable. Smaller steps in between each aligner. If somehow it's crazy loose, it's a teenager, you might be doing changes every 3 to 4 days, and that's fine. But remember, it's not a flat 7-day change. That's where you start. If the case isn't tracking, if they didn't get it seated, if they need to use their chewies to get it seated, your 7 days starts once they get it seated. So one aligner might be 7 days, one aligner might be 5 days, one aligner might be 2 weeks. It's going to change. And if you educate your patient and provide the virtual resources so that you can check in every aligner, you will not have revisions and refinements. It'll be the exception, not the rule. It'll completely transform your aligner practice. It is the biggest mistake that most dentists make. Orthodontists have it down, but general dentists that do ortho, they don't have it down at all. And now on top of it, Align has virtual resources included. So you're not thinking if you're not using what they have. Yes, you can give them the whole box of aligners and say, check in every aligner. And if they're not doing it, you're going to send them a warning letter and warn them that they need to check in every aligner. Ideally, you're going to do almost like a DM go, no go kind of thing where they don't change to their new aligner until they show you the old aligner through the virtual check-in. You give them the thumbs up, which means you're going to have to check your emails every day. You can train an assistant to do it, and that's what most orthos do. And then they will accelerate it or upgrade it if needed, to the doctor if they have a question. It's really easy. If the patient has elastics or bite issues, you're going to be taking pictures with the aligners in, with the aligners out, slightly open, as well as checking the bite with the aligners out, because there's a couple different planes of space you're going to be thinking about. But ultimately, yeah, this really shouldn't be a problem. Okay, so let's go through comprehensive. So again, I can't show this to you because their legal team will come after me, but I'm just going to read it because I'm allowed to do that. Invisalign comprehensive. I think all cases should be comprehensive. I don't think you should even be touching the express cases. If it's a really easy case, just use white label. Unless you're really trying to build. Now I know some doctors that are just trying to build their points so they can get the lab discount. Great, even more reason, because you're going to get 1,000 points per comprehensive and per moderate case. So do them all as a comprehensive, maybe moderate. Comprehensive lab fee $18.79 unless you have a volume discount. You get a reasonable amount of additional aligners included in the treatment place. They don't really define what it is for up to 5 years. I've never heard of any doctor being turned down for refinements. So, that's good. And as long as you can document it. 5 years after the shipment date of the first set of aligners. Okay. So if I go and accept my treatment plan today, early 2020, if they ship in 2 weeks, my 5 years starts at that shipment date. So you need to note that down. You shouldn't be going over 5 years as long as you're using virtual check-ins, keeping your patients on a tight leash. If they disappear or vanish, you start your series of 3 discontinuance letters certified. And after the third one, bye-bye, 30 days, bye. I'm no longer responsible for your treatment. Maybe you're not billing anymore either, but that makes things really easy. Keep your patient on a tight leash. You really have to have a spreadsheet going of your Invisalign patients. Are they checking in? Are they not? Where are they? Did I lose them? Did they ghost me? Because if they start ghosting, you need to dismiss your patient, okay? Because you're still, as long as your patient's going through treatment, you're responsible for that patient, no matter what, for those 5 years. Okay, Invisalign moderate. I'm okay with moderate. I'm fine with that. Lab fee's only almost like a $200 difference. It's really not that big a deal. You only get up to 20 aligners and you only get 1 refinement. Okay, that's it, 1. So that's the limit. So you better pick an easy case and you better pick a compliant patient. I've seen people get stung on moderate cases that needed more than 1 refinement. You're going to end up paying more than you would have paid for comprehensive. At least now you get the same amount of points for moderate. So I'm okay with it. Before I was like, why would you want to do it? But so you get 1 set, they call it additional aligners, but it's a refinement or mid-course correction up to 20 trays, okay? It's included for up to 2 years after the shipment date, so 2 years, okay? Which shouldn't be a problem because if you're doing 20 aligners at 1 week each, that is, right, 20 weeks. So why would you be going 100 weeks, right? That's 5 times slower, so that really shouldn't be a problem. But again, keep your patients on a tight leash. If you need more refinements than that, you will pay $130 per additional set, but you can't do it after the treatment expiration date, which is 3 years after the first shipment, okay? So after the 2-year mark of the shipment, you're gonna pay $130 per refinement or mid-course correction. But once you get to the 3 years afterwards, no more, Okay, that's a brand new case. So keep that in mind. Again, this really should not be a problem, but if you lose your patient or they ghost you, that's why you need to have a really good contract. And contracts are things that we have in our store you can take a look at. Again, run your contracts by your legal team. We're not lawyers, but they're things that have worked for us. You know, everyone has their own Dental Practice Act, but obviously if you're doing a moderate or an express case, you want to clearly say what their treatment expiration date and let the patient know that if the treatment goes over that, they will have an additional fee. And you really should, you can say what it is or don't say what it is. But if you don't say that and the case isn't done, doctor, you're responsible. You're paying for that. Okay. So that's the way it works, because if they appeal with the insurance company or the dental board, you're in trouble. Okay. Next. So that was moderate. So I'm okay with moderate. Next one is light. I almost rarely use light. It would have to be in a crazy simple case that I think I can do in less than 6 aligners. That gives me up to 14. That's wiggle room if the patient's not that compliant. Again, similar to the way moderate works, you get one revision refinement for 1 year after the shipment date. After the 2 years, up to 2 years, you can have more refinements at $130 a pop. But once the 2 years after the shipment date comes, it's expired, can't do anything, additional fees. So same thing, but instead of 2 and 3 years, it's 1 and 2 years. And your refinement is only up to 14 aligners. It better not be more than that. Remember, again, I'm going to bring up another thing. A lot of people that are doing light or moderate cases, they're doing anterior only movement. They're not doing posterior movement. Unless you figured out that you know that patient only wants anterior only movement, you're billing as limited, not comprehensive for insurance, you've documented it, you've had them sign the limited contract. You should always have all patients doing anterior only sign a limited contract. I have copies in my store if you need it. It's free for our clients or our subscribers. If you are a subscriber and you are listening to this, email me and I will send it to you. Otherwise, the fee is $20 per document. You can get that from our store. But so what happens very often with patients who are doing express, light, or moderate, you know, the setup maybe said you could do it in that less amount of aligners, but then the patient's like, oh, I don't like this overjet, I want to fix it. Well, now you're in trouble because you started the case as a express, moderate, or light. Well, the comprehensive or the ideal can't be done within that. Now you're going to have to do a brand new case, or maybe you can beg Align to upgrade your case to comprehensive. It's going to cost more. It's going to take more time. Or you're just going to have to do a bunch of refinements, which is going to cost more. So of course you're going to want to revise the contract and have the patient pay more. But if you made the mistake of billing D80, 80, D80, 90, instead of the limited billing, oopsies, you're now responsible because you didn't bill correctly. You billed the insurance as a comprehensive, but yet you didn't offer comprehensive treatment or pick a comprehensive product through Invis. You're going to eat that lab fee now. Okay. So you got to be careful. And again, I see this happen every single day with doctors who I talk to. So just things to keep in mind. Okay, so let's get lastly, we did comprehensive, we did moderate, we did light. Now let's talk about express. I basically don't use express at all. Anything in the lightest it's gonna be is gonna be light. It's just not worth the trouble to me. So remember, I get confused too. Light lab fee is about $1,300, okay? Express, they have Express 5, Express 10, and Express 7. I think they're phasing out just the 5 and the 10. The 5 and the 10 are the most limited. 7's actually better. I don't use them, like I said. So I'm going to tell you, don't use them. Lab fee on Express 7 is $700. So it's $500 less than light. I get it. But you're only getting up to 7 aligners, upper and lower. 10, maybe. I generally don't. Lab fee is about $1,000. 10 is like BS because any type, and same thing with 5, any type of refinement you're going to do is going to have a fee. There's no freebies. Okay. So everything is going to cost you and it's very, very limited. Okay. So within 1 year of the refinement fee date. Okay. So, and you only get 1 refinement total. You can't have multiple refinements for 130. You get 1 and it's within 1 year. So no more after that. It's just so limiting. I think you're making a huge mistake doing that. It's just not worth it. I would just do the light. Express 7 is actually more relaxed. You get 1 refinement included, but you have to use it within 6 months. So again, got to keep your patient on a tight leash. After the 6 months, between 6 months and 1 year after shipment, there's a $130 fee. And after that 1 year, no more. That's all you get. Lab fee is $700. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully that was helpful for you. I know it was helpful to explain it for me to go over it again. Pick wisely, have an optimized treatment plan, know what you're doing with your treatment plans. Don't trust your tech. They don't really know what they're doing for the most part. Sorry, but they don't. If you don't know what you're doing, there's a lot of great courses out there. Of course, our course is one of those courses. You can also, if you're on a budget, you can check out our book, which is only $9.99 for Kindle, $49 for paperback. You can find it at Amazon. It's on my website if you want to find the link, StraightSmileSolutions.com. It's pretty obvious. It's in a banner. Sometimes we give out promos where we give away books, but it really depends. So if you got one of those postcards in the mail, yeah, redeem it for sure. But that will be helpful for you. Of course, we've got a zillion YouTube videos. It's all free. Go ahead and access that. There are a few courses I do recommend. My course is one of them. We're more of like a one-on-one hands-on course where we help you with your actual patient. If you're looking for a more like didactic kind course, that's not me. That's not what we do. But I can recommend a few if you want to give me a call. I've had a few where some doctors were looking for that, and that's maybe I wasn't the right fit for them, and they were really happy about it. So, but there's also a lot of BS courses out there where I've seen terrible outcomes. So I'm not going to say it because I don't need people's lawyers attacking me, but I'll talk to you one-on-one about it if you have a question. All right. Thanks so much. Hopefully that was helpful. Take care.